There's one subconsciousness that we can all tap into. They test us by staging falsified events. They want to see how we react, where our emotions are, and what we do about it.
What's been happening with these school shootings should cause everybody to just think hard.
Come on over, boom. Come on over, boom. Come here, boom. One after another, hundreds of people. Plenty are dying and will be dead.
The president gathered members of Congress, Democrats and Republicans at the White House today and said it is time to end the nonsense and do something about gun violence.
And one of the people in that room happened to have it and goes boom, boom. You know what? That would have been a beautiful, beautiful sight.
Take the firearms first and then go to court. We have to do something very decisive. Number one, you can take the guns away immediately from people that you can judge easily are mentally ill, like this guy. You know, the police saw that he was a problem. They didn't take any guns away. Now, that could have been policing. I think they should have taken them away anyway, whether they had the right or not.
The Trump administration's move to ban controversial bump stocks comes 14 months after the Las Vegas massacre. The devices allow a semi-automatic gun to fire faster, almost like an automatic weapon. The Department of Justice now says bump stocks fall within the definition of machine gun under federal law, a move foreshadowed by the president in October.
We're knocking out bump stocks. I've told the NRA, I've told it, bump stocks are gone.
Police say 14 of Vegas gunman Stephen Paddock's 22 semi-automatic rifles were equipped with bump stocks, allowing him to fire more than 1,000 rounds in 10 minutes. 58 people were killed, hundreds injured.
I could hear the bullets hitting right next to me.
Attorney Brian Claypool survived the shooting and represents other survivors.
What's your reaction to the bump stock ban?
Huge relief. This is a monumental move. There is no social utility for bump stocks in a civilized society.
The ban means owners must destroy or surrender their bump stocks by late March, drawing criticism from the NRA, which told us we are disappointed that this final rule fails to address the thousands of law-abiding Americans who legally acquired bump stocks. The ban now expected to face legal challenges.
And we're going to do very strong background checks. Very strong. We've got to do background checks. If we see a sicko, I don't want him having a gun.
It is the fact that the United States of America is the one advanced nation on earth in which we do not have sufficient common sense gun safety laws.
A renewed push on the left to take guns away from American citizens. The new call is for a ban on so-called assault rifles. That's an intentionally imprecise term that includes AR-15s and a lot of other sporting rifles.
And welcome back to our special presentation tonight, Straight Shooting, the gun debate.
24-Hour News 8's Teresa Weekly looks back now at the last rifle ban. Teresa?
Well, Marley and Brian, there are new calls to put another assault weapons ban in place on a federal level. Here's a look at the first ban that went into effect 24 years ago. President Bill Clinton announced the assault weapons ban as part of the crime bill in 1994.
These things can be prevented.
It was a reaction to several high-profile events, including a shooting in 1989 at an elementary school in Stockton, California. That involved a semi-automatic version of an AK-47. A few states put their own assault weapons bans into place that year, but it wasn't until Clinton signed the crime bill in September 1994 that it became a federal ban.
This day is the beginning, not the end, of our effort to restore safety and security to the people of this country.
I made my intentions, my views clear. I did think we ought to extend the assault weapons ban, and was told the fact that the bill was never going to move because the Republicans and Democrats were against the assault weapon ban, people of both parties. Now, I believe law-abiding citizens ought to be able to own a gun. I believe in background checks at gun shows or anywhere to make sure that guns don't get in the hands of people that shouldn't have them.
We shouldn't stop there. We should restore the ban on military-style assault weapons and a 10-round limit for magazines.
And just a few moments ago, I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.
Nancy, we heard you ask Minority Leader Pelosi about the Republican pushback on bump stock legislation. She said she hopes it's a slippery slope. What'd you make of that response?
Well, I think she's not giving away the store here. Everybody knows that Democrats would like to see much more significant gun safety legislation. They would like background checks, loopholes closed. They would like to see semi-automatic weapons, in many cases, restricted along with automatic weapons. They would like to see the number of high-capacity magazines that you can sell restricted. So, she's not sort of giving away state secrets by acknowledging that Democrats would love for this to be a slippery slope. At the same time, it sort of confirms what is a pretty significant Republican fear up here on Capitol Hill, that if you crack open the door to gun safety legislation, even by restricting something that most Republicans would agree shouldn't be on the market, a bump stock that enables you to turn an already dangerous weapon into a lethal machine gun, they still worry that if you do it by legislation, you're cracking open the door to more legislation, and that once you pass that, how do you answer the question, well, why are you still willing to allow terrorists on a watch list to get a gun? Why don't we ban that? Why should we make it easier for people who are mentally ill to get a gun? Let's do legislation on that. Yeah. And that is a conversation that they would rather not have to have.
It's a great honor to have Nancy Pelosi with us and Chuck Schumer with us, and we've actually worked very hard on a couple of things that are happening.
Let's debate in private. Okay? Yeah, let's debate in private.